tell you time and time again, the CIA had no involvement in Operation Iraqi.
Alright, if you had no intervention, where were you at the time of the invasion?
Me and the CIA team, you see, we were at lunch. Alright? We were nowhere near Operation Granada. We were at Subway.
What kind of stupid excuse is that? Did you not read the sign outside? So you're telling me that America decided to invade a whole country because some of their students were playing baseball with grenadiers? Don't want to talk, huh? Alright. How do you explain this?
I'll be damned.
It's October 1983, and the U.S. has just decided to send a huge invasion to the small country of Grenada, which has ended up being one of the most controversial decisions and a turning point in the Cold War, showing America's power in the Western Hemisphere. The invasion's codename was Operation Urgent Fury, and will always go down as one of the most flawed invasions of all American history.
During this event, the Cold War is raging. America needs to stop the spread of communism, as fears about it taking over the world and possibly the US rise. After the strategic victory in Korea during the Korean War and the crushing strategic defeat experienced in Vietnam soon after, America needed to find a better foothold in the Cold War. But first, we are going to have to go back to the 70s, specifically 1974. After Grenada, a small island known for its tourism and beautiful sights located in the Caribbean, Grenada became an independent city-state. Eric Gary was elected as the first Prime Minister of Grenada since the state's newfound freedom. Sadly, this freedom came at a bad time. The Cold War is raging, and Eric Gary is an autocratic ruler, plagued with corruption, fueling a gang called the Mongoose Gang. Using their power and fear they casted to maintain control. During a bloodless coup led by Maurice Bishop, he was able to become the new Prime Minister of Grenada in 1979. Worryingly to the US, he had ties with Fidel Castro, leader of Cuba, making him unliked by the West. The construction of an airport capable of fielding Soviet military aircraft threatened the Caribbean.
Now, the year is October 1983, and Maurice Bishop was just captured by his own people in the Revolutionary Army, led by none other than Hudson Austin, who really disagreed with Maurice Bishop's way of leadership. Maurice Bishop, unfortunately, ended up being executed by Bernard Cord's coup, and this is what truly made the country go absolutely crazy. As the country was under a great chaos, the United States got word that around 1,000 American students were trapped in the country, attending St. George's University of Medicine, and they saw this as very unsafe for the students.
What's it like going home?
Oh, it feels great. I can't wait. Hi, Mom.
Thanks a lot.
They wanted to stop communist influence spreading throughout the region, mostly towards the students that were trapped in Grenada. Eventually, U.S. President Ronald Reagan decided that they needed to take action with none other than Operation Urgent Fury to rescue these students and take over Grenada.
The plan was to minimize, if we can't eliminate totally, casualties, and then pointed to the first priorities, which happened to be two campuses, St. George's University, and the necessity of immediately securing those.
October 25th, U.S. invades Grenada. Their strategic targets include the newly constructed Salines Airport, capable of fielding Soviet-era fighters. Second target is the True Blue campus of the Grand Anse Medical School to get American medical students to safety. from the political chaos after Maurice Bishop's execution by Bernard Cord. Third target is the armored camp at Clivany to eliminate and isolate Cuban military personnel. I will quickly go over how this list of targets were handled. Vice Admiral Joseph Metcalf III, who served as the task force commander, was responsible for planning and coordinating military forces. The invasion was supposed to take place at night. Black Hawk helicopters wait in place for the Navy to arrive. The mission of the helicopters is to deploy troops near the school. Due to poor planning though, the Navy did not arrive until morning. During the day, the helicopters are sitting ducks for anti-air guns and rocket fire. This resulted in casualties. At the same time, C-130s drop paratroopers onto the airport. When strategic targets are fulfilled, the extract and medical students would become muddied. Due to soldiers not being issued proper maps, they were pretty much on par with the map pamphlets you'd get at Disneyland.
After the United States invaded Grenada, their government quickly collapsed and America took full control over Grenada's government. The general who led the coup on Maurice Bishop, General Hudson Austin, was arrested by U.S. military occupations. After the invasion, they started to work on building Grenada back up, starting by getting a new pro-Western government so it benefits the U.S., putting Prime Minister Herbert Blaise in charge. But fortunately, America did treat the people well by providing supplies to help them get back on their feet. The invasion sparked a lot of mixed opinions. Some people, they didn't believe it was justified, while others believe it was. A lot of people viewed it as imperialism. Mostly nations in the Eastern Caribbean area were generally supportive of the decision made to invade Grenada. They viewed Grenada as unstable and corrupt as well, and they didn't want it to spread throughout other nations. The opposing nations were around Grenada. They saw it as a threat to their region, considering how the U.S. just decided to invade one of the nations so close to them that easily.
The legacy and impact that Operation Urgent Fury left on the world is small in the grand scheme of things. We can, however, correlate the invasion to further change how the U.S. military operates, as the knowledge from the invasion will be used in Operation Desert Storm years later. But it had an impact on Americans during the time. Many Americans experience this event very differently from each other. For example, Republicans' opinions about the invasion is seen as positive, as this really was the first step back for communism and the first step forward for democracy. Democrats at this time were very suppressed, but their opinions on the invasion were mixed. Some believed that it was good, others said that the invasion was too dramatic of a reaction and would destabilize the country and could have been handled through other ways. The common American believes that the funding being sent to the country after the invasion left it as an annoying pain for America to deal with, as Grenada had very little to give back in return. We could make the correlation to modern-day Russo-Ukraine war and the controversy around that conflict. Grenada today is somewhat stabilized and returned to being an attractive tourist destination. Now, to answer the question that some of you might have asked yourselves from the start of this documentary, was the CIA involved in Operation Fury? The answer is that they were involved, but played a small role in intelligence, at least as far as we know. That's the whole story though, of Operation Urgent Fury, and thank you for watching.
2 hours ago, we released the first photos from Grenada. They included pictures of a warehouse of military equipment, one of 3 we've uncovered so far. This warehouse contained weapons and ammunition stacked almost to the ceiling, enough to supply thousands of terrorists. Grenada, we were told, was a friendly island paradise for tourism. Well, it wasn't. It was a Soviet-Cuban colony being readied as a major military bastion to export terror and undermine democracy. We got there just in time.